Well, it's unfortunate, or maybe it's not. It's unusual that both of my opponents played incredibly well. Um, the first guy that I beat, the Caps thing said he played better than I did. And I had it on depth 30, so it took like 4 minutes. And um, he played like 98.9, and I played like 98.3, something like that. And the next game, my opponent played 96, and I played like 45. I don't know if I've ever played a slow game as bad as 45. Luckily, that doesn't mean anything, but still, I mean, it means something. You know, I don't think grandmasters play 45 too often in a slow game. Jesus Christ! But I got fucking crushed, and I knew at some point I didn't understand the game because I thought I had a better position, and the next move I wanted to resign. And I said, man, if I had played this other move, I would have been okay. But then I was like, probably not. Probably just don't understand the position. And it turned out I was right. I didn't understand anything. I was like lost the whole game. I was lost on move one. I shouldn't have shook hands. Thanks, Suad Bejtovic. We had a very strange start to the round. I got to the round 10 minutes early, and I go into the the hallway when you walk into the tournament room. Tournament room was closed. I still don't know why. And so everybody's out there. All the Denker, Barber, Herring, Rockefeller, and seniors. There's like 250 of us standing outside the room, and they won't let anybody in. They're making strange announcements. They're making announcements about pairing. I don't know. So I went and I got this Perrier, which took a while because the store was crowded. I came back, the doors are still closed, everybody's standing there. And it's already noon, it's already time for the round. I still don't know why. So I sat down in the lobby, and eventually it looked like people were going in. So I went over there, and the round had started, which is weird. And I got to my game, I was 3 minutes behind on the clock, which doesn't matter, but I was like, what? So I don't know. I mean, when they opened the doors, everybody got to their seat and they started right away, I guess. I don't know. So it was a weird start to the round. Fedorowicz was mad also, although he won with black easily. So, yeah. You can see pairings and standings and all that on the internets. Let's go to uschess.org and uschess.live. And there's if you can find it. I posted links here before. Yeah. So forth. Yeah, my game yesterday was weird. Yeah, no, I put the kings on the right squares. Yeah, the DGT sometimes messes up. Sometimes the director messes up, and sometimes the players mess up. But I took both kings when the game ended and put them on white squares. So I don't know why I had the wrong result. But you can never trust the results if you don't think it's right. If you're like, that result seems odd, that means the DGT didn't work. Yeah. Um, yeah, etc. All right. We're not getting a lot of viewers, but all right, whatever. Truth hurts. All right. So let's go to the game. This was my game last night. Timothy Sage, he's a physics professor at Northeastern University in Quincy, Massachusetts. And he's been 2,200, but now he's like 21, 25, something like that. Then Zumeri, yeah, and so forth. All right. Okay, I was white, and this opening's my bread and butter, or so I thought. I guess when I turned vegan, I forgot everything. Now, here I usually play A3, but I decided to play knight F3 after thinking a while, because I have this position too. And here I've played bishop D2 and G3. G3 is a better move, and I've studied it extensively, but I forget what I studied. I studied it 30 years ago, and so forth. So I usually play this when I'm not feeling confident with G3. And we got this position, which I've had like 10 times. And black should play knight here. And this is another move which I face a lot, which isn't good. My opponent played d6, which I didn't know. d6 is fine. The point is, white wants to play knight g5, which threatens to take and then give mate. And black doesn't have a great response to that. But knight e4 just equalizes. That's why b6 isn't considered very good. Now, d6, the idea is if I play knight g5, he plays e5, which stops bishop takes f6. So I wasn't really familiar with d6, but it seemed like it was okay. Yeah. Well, let's see. Go Ben. Yay, it's Ben. All right. I can't look at the chat and like I usually can because I have just my laptop. Okay, so I played b4, which is, not the best move, I guess. And I figure I'll have two bishops, and if I can safely castle, I'll be fine. Now, here the engine suggests a move I didn't consider, b5. I just didn't look at that at all. And it doesn't want me to take that because black gets too much play. I mean, I didn't consider that at all. So, all right, he played a5. That's also okay. And this is all fine. Now, I thought a long time about how to defend this. So one of the issues is I can't allow knight here winning my f-pawn, which, he can't play because his knight's hanging. The other issue is if my queen's not on the second rank, he could play like knight f2, knight g4 check, and start attacking me. So I played the best move, queen b2. He can't play knight g4 because I made him. I defend my pawn, and, I'm ready to, develop my bishop and castle. So he played e5, which I think is the only move. And I played here. And in this position, he should probably play bishop g4, but he played this. Castles, rook c8. Now, I was thinking about playing c5 or rook c1 or some other moves, but I played here, that's fine. I just thought I was better here. I have two bishops, and, I got two bishops. Okay. He played h6 because he was worried he was going to lose his knight. Like, if I attack his knight, then his knight has nowhere to go. If he played bishop f5 after that, I played knight h4. So he was concerned that I was going to win his knight. So he played h6, which is fine. Then his knight has this square. And we were both playing very slowly because it's a very difficult position. Okay, I played c5, which is fine. And in this position, I thought these moves were just going to be bad in the long run. So I thought he would take. And then I just thought I had a really good position because I have a really good position. I take the knight. I threaten mate in the knight, so he has to play knight f6. And then I take this, and I'm a pawn up. For nothing. And probably I'm better, because my bishop on the dark squares is so good. So that's why I played c5. And he played queen c6, which is a very good move. This is round one, right? Yeah. Let's see. Bishop is rock. It's rook. All right, chat's not too interesting, but at least it's not silly. This guy's 2125 USCF. Okay. So now I thought a long time, and according to trying to learn, everybody was confused about my next move. So I thought about moving my rook because if I don't move my rook, I can't play d takes c5. And if I move my rook, I can. And then if he takes on c5, I have knight takes e5 attacking his queen, which I thought was winning. And in this position, I didn't know how to proceed. If I don't play d takes c5, what do I do? I mean, c takes d6. which I can't because it's pinned. What do I do? So the engine says queen b1's the best move. I wasn't sure why queen b1 was the best move, and now I understand. So in this position, if I play b5, which is a terrible move, and he goes here, now I'm in trouble because my bishop's attacked and my pawn's attacked. Now, somebody on Discord yesterday was analyzing this queen sacrifice. I mean, it takes this and I resign. It's just a blunder. Yeah, so the point is, if I play queen b1, I'm threatening b5 here, and then my bishop's defended. So I can make whatever move I want to make. So that actually makes sense. And the other engine moves are just like h3, knight e1, just nonsense moves because, nobody can do anything. Now, I wanted to move my rook because I wanted to take, and I didn't want him to take. So I tried to find a good square for my rook, and the only one I liked was here. But probably I should play queen b1. Or even h3, that way I have luft. Yeah, I kept changing my mind about where to move my rook, and these just seem wrong, because my rook can get attacked by his bishop or his knight or his queen, and here it just defends f2. Okay, so I played rook f1, which is okay. I guess queen b1's better. And I totally miscalculated queen d5, which is the best move. I saw queen d5 when I played rook f1, and my intention was to take. And then if he takes with the queen, this pawn's hanging, he takes with the knight, I take. And then I only looked at moves like queen takes and knight takes, and then I win his e-pawn, I'm a pawn up for nothing. And then after he played queen d5, I was like, oh, he just defends his pawn, and then this pawn's a goner. So, I mean, the engine says black's better because now my bishop sucks. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, I can't play bishop takes knight. That was my intention. And the engine actually wants me to go here. I keep pinning all my pieces. But okay, I played this, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I misevaluated queen c6 and queen d5. Luckily, it didn't matter very much. Yeah. I didn't like rook c2 because it weakens my back rank. So it's probably not good. Thanks for the sub, Centipede. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. So he took, which is fine. And then I took, which is fine. And he took with the rook, which is fine. And I have to take. So here I thought I was worse because I misunderstood queen c6 and queen d5. And when he played queen d5 and I played bishop e2, I thought forever about this, and I decided after knight c3, I would play knight d3. And the engine agrees with all this. Knight c3 attacks my knight. And the idea is I'm attacking his rook, and knight f4 later is going to be good. And he really surprised me here. I thought he would play knight takes e2, which the engine does not play. But he played rook c7, which I didn't look at all. Not that bad. It's okay. And I played knight f4. And he played queen a2, which is not good. I mean, this is about equal. But after this move, I'm probably better. Bishop f3. And in this position, he took, and he played a very strange move. When he played the move, I was like, what? It's not a move I would ever consider, and I think the engine agrees with me. The engine also doesn't consider it. I thought I was slightly better here because I have two bishops. Maybe I'll get two bishops against two knights. His knights can be pinned. This pawn's not dangerous yet, so I wasn't concerned about that. And he played this very strange move. And I think he played it because he didn't want me to get the two bishops against two knights. All right. Yeah. And now I thought I was winning, but I'm probably not. And here he played an excellent move. I thought I'm just going to be a pawn up with two bishops. Sounds like it's winning, and so forth. Yeah. All right. Chad is still sort of silly. All right. And he played this, which is the best move. Very good move. And I thought I'm just winning. I take. He takes. This is forced. Everything's forced. And I thought with two bishops and an extra pawn, I should probably win. And I thought if it wasn't winning, I would probably win. And he played this, which I saw. And I thought I could just go here, and I didn't see bishop e6. So I'm forced to trade bishops now, and that's a drawn ending. Although we both played badly. We both have like 5 minutes here. My order has been picked up. Good. All right. Okay, so I found the wrong plan here with, I think, g3 and f4. I played this hoping he would just make a random move and I could try to trap his knight. But he got his knight out. Yeah, and in this position, again, we both have less than 5 minutes. For the rest of the game, we have increment. I need to play g4 like every move. I have to always play g4. G4 every move. And I didn't do it. And yeah, now I have to play f5. I have to do something where he can't set up a blockade, and I let him set up a blockade, and then he didn't. So I need to play f5 or g4 earlier and have good winning chances. And now I didn't even see g6, f5. Now it's a dead draw. You can't win. And what's funny is, after the game, I said, well, if you just play f5, the game's over. And he was expecting, if he played that ever, I would go here and have a passed pawn. Then he was like, oh, wait a minute, that's a total blockade. I'm like, yeah. So if he plays f5, I can't legally win. There's no way to win. He can just move around with his knight forever. There's no winning chances. But luckily he didn't play f5 the couple chances that he had. And I mean, the passed pawn is irrelevant. King's on e6, moves his knight around. Yeah, the engine plays f5, obviously. But he played this, and then I had hope that he wouldn't play f5, and that he didn't. Okay, so now I have winning chances. It's still a draw, but now I can try to win. If he plays f5, I don't even know what I'm going to do. He just sits there. Trade all the pawns off. That's no good. Oh, nothing happened. Okay, so now I can try to win. It's not winning, but, it's winning chances. And in this position, after here, I was like, Damien's going to play f5, which draws. So I played here, thinking if he played f5, I had winning chances, but I don't. After f5, my intention was to take. Obviously, if pawn takes, then I'm actually winning. Knight takes. And then h5. That's why I played h4. Or, I'm sorry, not h5. I apologize. King g5. So the idea is, and it's a wrong idea, I thought, he can't move here. And actually, he has two moves that draw. King here and knight here. And I thought after king here, I play h5. And it turns out that doesn't win because after here, now I have to play h6. Okay. And I thought maybe I have good winning chances. And the engine says I have no winning chances. Tough engine. I thought, I've passed h-pawn. But yeah, the engine says I can't do anything. So the problem is, if I play king f6, he just forks my king and bishop. If I play bishop f6, he goes knight d5. Now, these are only moves that draw. So you can see why you would not want to go in this in time trouble. If he plays other moves, I win. And then if I take, he has knight takes f4 check, which draws. I mean, that's not obvious, that this is a draw. But if he plays king here, it's a draw. Then I can't do anything. So I got to do something now. So he could have drawn by doing that, but by playing f5. That draws. But he played this, and now I still have winning chances. It's still a draw, but now he has to defend reasonably well. And I don't blame him. We both had like less than 2 minutes here. So, we're just guessing what the right thing to do is. I know if he goes here, it's a draw. So I played f5. That's the only winning chance. Now, unfortunately, the gawking rabble, which is you, if you have your engines going, it just, or whatever, it just says, draw, because it plays perfect for both sides. But obviously, you want to have white in this position, and you're trying to win. So it's a big advantage for white, and I thought it would probably be a draw, but I was very happy he didn't play f5. Because if he had played f5, I don't even know what I would have done. Move around and draw. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. A blockade of positions with little value. Okay. Matt Larson approved. All right. Let's see. Okay. And reading the chat never helps. Now, he could take on f5, or he can play this. This is what he did. It's fine. And, I'm trying to win, but trying is the first step to failure. Okay. So I have the right colored rook pawn. That's the only reason I have any winning chances at all. But it's hard to win when he doesn't do anything. Okay, so eventually I tried to get my king his other way around. And in this position, he can immediately draw, although it looks risky, and when you're in time trouble. Thanks for the 200 centidues. Okay, so he can play f5. I have to play e5, otherwise I have any pawns left. And now I have two passed pawns, so that's a risky move with no time on your clock. And every move loses for black except this. It's a hard move to play because, my pawn's queening. But, because of the timing he's drawing, he's, knight check and knight takes pawn. And then his knight can go to f7 or g6 and stop my pawn. So I would defend my pawn. I was planning on going here. That was my intention. And then after here, he just takes my pawn. I mean, I can't. It's just a dead draw. So after this, he's threatening here, and I can't really stop it. So this is just a draw. I can't win. Okay, so he didn't play f5. He played check. He's still drawing. But, it's not as easy now. Bishop d6 better. I guess bishop d6 is better here. Probably still a draw. Okay. Yeah. At least I'm trying. Yeah, now f5 draws again. But it's a very hard move to play because I can take it or play e5. So it looks crazy in time trouble to play f5. But I just can't win. E5 is what I would have played, obviously. And then f4. And I thought I have winning chances here, and the engine says I don't. So he's a pass pawn, too. This is knight back and forth. I mean, I wouldn't do this if I was black, because it's a draw anyway, but that's just an immediate draw. Okay. And I moved around. I'm good at moving around. I think he should play knight e6 here, but all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm making his knight sort of stuck. Now, he's still drawing, but now it's getting close to not drawing because his knight could get trapped. His knight is away from here now. I forced it away. So now he has to start wandering where his knight could get trapped. And with no time on your clock, that's difficult. Yeah, this is still a draw. I thought I was winning here. I thought he had messed up. Yeah. And I thought this was an easy win. He's still drawing here. He has one way to draw, but he didn't. Or maybe, I guess he has two moves to draw. But, in time trouble, when you have this, big blockade and I can't do anything, then all of a sudden your king moves away from my h-pawn and your knight is trapped. You're not feeling so good. Before it was like I couldn't do anything. But by moving my king up to d6 and bishop h6, I stopped his knight and king from moving, so he had to do this, which is also drawing. It's just not easy. Thanks for the sub, Perrier Rept and Hey Ports and so forth. Let's see. 200 centidues. Thanks, Trina. All right, good chat. Okay, and he played this move, which um, which I didn't know during the game. That's the losing move. Now he's lost. Here I thought he was probably lost anyway because his knight's trapped. But actually he can escape by playing either this or this. So for example, and then if I play king e2, he gets out. And if I play king e3, he goes here, and I can't keep his knight, in. So this is a draw too. But he played king f7, probably afraid of my h pawn. Like if you move your knight and your king is here, then I'm my queen. So he played king f7 because he thought it was safe. And now his knight's trapped, so now I'm winning. So, it wasn't the best play for him in time trouble, but yeah. Avivco43 subscribed. Saw you yesterday. Oh, no, you didn't subscribe. Oh, yes, he did. Ultra Cold Neutron, 2,000 centidues. Hooray. Still have 100,000 followers. All right, thanks. 200 centidues from KC Zat. I was just talking to my opponent in round 2 like an hour ago, Doug Eckert. That's the next game. I was probably talking to my first round opponent last night. Our game went 5 hours. It ended before midnight. Just before midnight. After midnight. Okay, so he's lost now. Yeah, his knight's trapped. So, and then he resigned here. Hooray for Ben. 1,000 centidues from Anonymous. So, he was worse in that ending, but he wasn't losing. And then I needed to play g4 with good winning chances, and I didn't. Then he could just draw with f5. So he had easier draws, but he wasn't losing until 4 moves before he resigned. But we were just playing on increment, and it was 81 moves, and the game was almost 5 hours. So now I put the game in the caps thing at depth 30, and he played 98.9, and I played 98.3 or something. So, the guy's 21-35, and he played with no blunders until he got his knight trapped with seconds on his clock. The guy played great for 21-35. 500 centidues, thanks, oh no. 100 centidues, the worst in chess. Where's the Perrier? Here. It's the first Perrier I bought because I went to Target yesterday and they didn't have Perrier. They were out. Everybody bought all the Perrier. So I got, the other one. San Pellegrino, they had an 8-pack of cans or a 6-pack, I don't know. And that's in my fridge. And then this they sell downstairs in the coffee shop. This is $4. Ridiculous.